Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you coming on. What's your name? Oh, I should have asked your name before we even started this, but it's all good, man.
My name is Argustic Dunbar, but I know that's a
Okay,
mouthful. So for most people, I just say AD, and I go by AD the Kingmaker.
cool. Easy enough. Nice, man. Nice. No, no, thank you for joining. We truly appreciate it. My other partner that runs this with me, he's at work, unfortunately, but it's all good.
Good, I'm glad to be here, man. This is going to be a great
Yeah,
conversation. I already know.
r- exactly. Yes, for sure. Yeah, so kind of tell me a little bit about like what your upbringing was like. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I I I'm 34 now. I had a lot of instability in my childhood. You know, people with childhood trauma or complex trauma, I think they call it, will
Hmm.
look at their childhood and say, it wasn't so bad. I turned out okay. But then you like go to, I've told my childhood story to a therapist and like she starts crying. Right. So like, okay, maybe it was a lot more complex than what I thought. But essentially, man, I have there's a long history of drug use, specifically cocaine in my family
Hmm.
of origin. And my parents, I remember them living together for a very short time, maybe a year or two when I was like in sixth grade, I think, or fifth or sixth grade. And even then, my mother was rarely there. Sometimes my dad wasn't there. Sometimes it was just me and my older sister. But essentially, man, I ended up going to I think it was six or seven different schools in between like sixth grade and graduating high school. So just all over the place. I lived with friends at one point. I lived with aunts. I lived with cousins. I lived with my parents. I lived with just my mom. Then I lived with just my dad. Then my mom and her boyfriend. It was all over the place. Needless to say, I don't remember a lot of the details.
Hmm.
Um, I think that my brain is just kind of blocked all of that
Blocked it
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's blocked it out, and it's been interesting just going to therapy as an adult. I love therapy. I love learning new things about myself. I love uncovering things. I'm just very curious about what God has created when He created me, and
Right.
I think that my purpose is to be here to show up as the best version of myself and to inspire other men to kind of do the same and love themselves, especially today when I think most men have been socialized, programmed, and taught to hate themselves. And I think
You're
it's just a
absolutely
shame.
right. Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there. That's it, man. Yep.
Yeah. So wait, so you're
Yep.
saying you agree that most men hate themselves?
No, a lot of guys really do. Like they hold so much inside of them. And I used to be that guy too, and I
Mm.
hated myself. Sorry. Yeah, I
Mm.
did hate myself. So,
Tell me,
yeah,
tell
I
me
def
more about that. Whether it's about you or other guys, because when I say that, I don't hear many people say, "Yeah, that's true." People look at me like, "I can't believe you said that." So I'm shocked to have someone
yeah,
agree.
definitely. Like I really I was hurting inside, and I'm just speaking about myself, but hurting inside, and I didn't understand that until um, I started having an awakening, and then I
Mm.
started to really dig deep into the traumas and stuff that I grew up with, childhood trauma, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, I didn't like myself.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Have you ever
Yep.
seen the movie Eight Crazy Nights? I think it's called Eight Crazy Nights by Adam
Huh.
Sandler. It's like a cartoon.
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, I would
No.
highly recommend you go watch it.
Really? Yeah.
Um, there, you know how like you could have like a challenging moment or a challenging day, and then you can go indulge in something from your childhood to kind of like make you
Mhm.
feel better. There was
Yep.
one day, maybe a few months ago, where I was having a challenging day, and I was just
Mhm.
sad, or I felt whatever I felt, right? And I just felt compelled to watch a movie from my childhood. I don't know why that one came to mind. It just did. And there's a portion of the movie where like they're singing, and there's a part where he basically like the character lost his parents when he was young to like a fire,
Oh.
and
Yep. Yep.
so he breaks down and just starts singing, and like the song ends with him saying, "I hate myself." And I was like, why did this resonate with me as a child? Oh,
Mhm.
I must have felt the same way,
Right.
right? So I think it's a
Exactly.
great. I don't know why it makes me feel good to watch. Maybe you
Really?
might like it, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna check it out. Not. It's funny. I get that way too. I get watching videos that from my childhood, you know,
Yeah.
and it like brings back like a lot of things.
It's comfort.
Yeah,
It's it's
it
it's
is. It
it's
is.
it's something you know. I know that I'm gonna watch this and feel what I felt when I was a child, and
When you
that
were a
certainty is
child.
comfort. Yep.
Exactly. That's it.
Hmm.
Yes. Yep. Were your parents together? Did they split up
No.
or
So
no?
one of the things. So what I do is I help men bring back their wife's intimacy, softness, love, respect, all of that, right? And I
Okay.
tell them that the number one thing like that you need to make a family last and a marriage, I think marriage is overrated. Family is
Mhm,
important. Family is
mhm,
incredibly important. And the number one thing you need to keep your family together, meaning your wife from not leaving or divorcing you, is she must feel attracted to you. She must have a deep seated urge to move
mhm.
towards you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emotionally, physically, sexually, whatever that might look like, right?
Mhm.
I like ice cream. I have a deep seated desire to move towards ice cream. You want her to have that same thing towards you. So I say that to say, no, my parents were not together very long. I'll go
Okay.
into my parents' business because they'll tell you. My parents, they're so funny. They're so interesting. Like
Mhm.
if you ever just see them interact with one another, it's great. Just get your popcorn because all they do is insult each other. All they do is just
Oh,
insult one another. And like to me, that's what I saw growing up as love, right? Just constantly
right.
firing off jokes at each other, even though you're hurting each other's feelings.
Yep.
And my dad and my mom met in Flint, Michigan. And my mother's mother, so my grandmother, who I only met one time in my adult life, um, was in some kind of, I guess, mental facility at some point.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I think my dad's mom was her nurse. So my mom's mom was my
Mhm.
dad's mom's patient, right?
Okay.
And I think my dad would tell my mother, "Oh, I know your mom. I know your mom. I know your mother." And I guess my mother felt as though he was saying, "There's something wrong with your mother, and you're the daughter of that crazy lady," right?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
when my mother ended up having me, her thought in her head, I don't know if she expressed it to him, was, "Oh, well, there's something wrong with me and my mama. You just had a baby by
Mhm.
me. So what that say about you?" It was almost like
Mhm.
almost like I was born out of spite in
Yeah.
in in
Yeah.
in, in
Gotcha.
such a way, right?
Mhm.
And so you ever heard that phrase? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right?
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that my mom was a hoe, but what I am saying is that you cannot make a woman stick around and be a part of a family unit if she does not want to. If she does not
Yes.
have that genuine burning desire to stay, then she will not
Yep.
stay. And so
You're
I
right.
think a lot of my dad's suffering came from just picking the wrong woman and trying to get her to stay. Now he's
Mhm.
happily married. He and his wife have been together for like 8 or 9 years. They don't have kids together, but obviously they have kids separately. And
Okay.
he's happier than I've ever seen him be. So no,
Wow.
to answer your question, my
Th-
parents are not together, but it's because he picked the wrong woman to try to do family with.
Of course, and I think we we all we all go through that
Mm-hmm.
where we pick the wrong woman.
Mm-hmm. That's how
I
you know
know.
how to stop picking them. You've experienced it.
Yes, exactly, and that's where I even for myself, I married a woman, and then when I woke up, I was like, wait a second, I need a lot of healing. Wait a second, I mirrored her into my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the exact same person I mirrored was me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it was like, okay, you know, I need to heal myself, and I have to get away from this person, So,
Very mature of you to come to that conclusion, man. Very mature.
Y- oh yes, for sure. uh, now, were you ever in like into a life of crime or
No,
anything?
no, no, no,
No,
no, no.
never into that. Eh?
I know I'm muscular and I'm sexy, but I'm 5'4". So
Okay.
crime and drugs and all of that was never in my. I'm small, bro. Like I don't want to go to jail. Like someone's gonna have their
Oh,
way with me if I
of
go.
course.
So no
Exactly.
crime, no nothing. However,
Uh-huh.
I will share this with you, and people usually judge me once I say this, but I think it's true. If I could, if so I have family members who were drug dealers and who did crime and were in gangs and all that other stuff, right? And all of that is it's just too dangerous for me, right? Because my
Hmm.
mindset is I'm poor. My dad always said, go to college, do something with math, you'll be okay, and that's what I did. So to me, doing crime was gonna put me in a position where, like, one, I'm gonna go to jail and be taken advantage of, or two, I'm gonna be poor. And so, like, my mindset was, I'm just gonna finish high school, I'm gonna go to college, and I'll never come back. I'll never be poor again, right? And
Hmm.
nothing was gonna get in the way of that. However, had a pimp walked up to me and said, "Hey, here's me. Here's all my beautiful women. Let me show you." I would have did that. I would have been a pimp. Oh, I would have
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely done that. And it's interesting. I say that, and I know that to be true because I went on this journey, man. I spent over $250,000 on
Okay.
coaching, right?
Okay.
On life
Yep.
coaching, on
Yep.
business coaching, on coaching specifically. My favorite type of coaching is men who understand things about women that I didn't yet that I don't understand
Mm.
yet, right?
Yep.
And so many of my mentors have been pickup artists, um, or dating coaches, or Muslim men who have multiple wives, or women who have multiple husbands. And some of my mentors were former pimps in their past life,
Oh,
right?
yep.
And the pimps, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like power. I like being valued. I like women wanting me more than I want them. Like, so the positioning of a pimp is very um intriguing to me, right? And
Okay.
if it intrigues me today, it definitely would have intrigued me at 13 or
Yeah. Yeah.
14, you know? So yeah,
For
no, to
sure.
answer your question, no crime, no nothing like that. But again,
Well, that's good.
had pimping been introduced to me, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Now with your with all these coaching, like, what courses did you take?
I just signed up and talked to different people. So I have a YouTube video where I kind of
Okay.
just go over, like, who I believe to be worth listening to on YouTube or the internet when it comes to dealing with women in relationships. So I'll name some people. So there's a guy named Michael Sartain.
Okay.
He basically runs Vegas. He is very
O-
big on Social Circle.
Okay.
Basically teaching you how to meet and date really, really, like, attractive model type of
Yeah.
women, and
Mm-hmm.
how to get in the rooms with, like, really, really successful, men, right? Like the
Okay.
business owners, the entrepreneurs, the movers, the shakers. So he's one of my mentors, one of my good friends. There's another guy named Mr. Lucario. He calls himself the bad boy of the dating game. I like his
Okay.
style. He's very direct. He's very much
Yep.
like, "Hey, what's up? What's your name? Okay, you look good. Let's go. Let's get a drink and let's get it on." And he's just like,
Yeah.
if she wants to do it, she will. And if she doesn't, she won't. Like, I'm.
Gotcha.
So, one of my other mentors, his name is Goldie, or he calls himself Game Guy Goldie. This guy was
Okay.
his stuff has been monumental for me, and he was the first person to teach me, like, you got to like who likes you. The
Yeah.
greatest the greatest the greatest act of self love that you can give yourself is to put yourself in an environment where you're associating with people who like you,
Yes, you're
right?
right.
And
Yeah.
he kind of just gave me the game on, the perspective of choosing who chooses you, right? Like, so many men, they'll see a very beautiful woman, she's a 9, she's a 10, and they'll just kind of fall all over her. And he's like,
Yeah.
but there's a 6 sitting over there who hasn't taken her eyes off of you all night. Go
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
her some attention. She will make your life better. And once I started to love myself, I started to realize, bro, I deserve a woman who wants to make my life better, as opposed to a woman who just wants to extract from me, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
so
Yes.
it's that's just a few of the people who I've kind of spent some money with and learned some things from.
All right. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many, and I hear so many men are with these women that are just extracting,
Mm-hmm.
and they're so trauma bonded to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just they're afraid to get out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was one
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yep, me too. Same here. Same here, man. And you, again, very mature of you to be able to admit that.
Definitely, I can admit anything that I've went through. It was I now understand it was part of my journey, and same with you. Like, as in, I now understand that I've been put here to help other people, and especially men, sorry, to heal within themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and and now it's like I come to a full understanding. where
Mm-hmm.
before I was so blinded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been how long have you been like doing this for?
Um, that answer is always foggy for me. So,
Yeah.
it's I would say that it started with so it really started with me at a young age talking to older black men specifically, and they would say, "Oh, don't try to understand a woman; they're crazy. You'll never get them." Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And my mind, like I'm an engineer, so like, don't tell me what I can and can't understand. I hate that. Like, I can
Yeah.
understand whatever the fuck I want to understand. Right? Um, but then I met I think this was like 2018, 2019, maybe somewhere in between 2019 and 2021. I met a good friend of mine who he's very private, but he and his wife date women together. And I was like,
Okay.
holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. Like, this is a once in a lifetime chance, bro. You have to teach me everything you know. You must
Yeah.
teach me everything. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I learned from him is that, like, whenever you're coaching someone or selling someone a service or anything like that, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know 20% more than they do. So he
Yeah.
just knew, 20, 30, 40% more than I did. Right. And
Okay.
so, what they say is one of the best ways to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. So he would teach me something. I would stumble, I'd figure it out, and then I'd teach it to someone else. So
Mhm.
really, I started back then. So call that 2020, 2021, something like that.
Okay.
And then I started realizing, bro, I have 100% success rate. Like, there's no guy who I've ever told to do things, he did them
Mhm.
consistently, who didn't end up having a better relationship with himself and his woman. And then I was like, I got to start charging money for this because this is life changing, bro. Like, there's nothing more important. I would argue that men would say there's nothing more important than keeping your family together. Nothing,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
could lose a
Yeah.
business and build another one. But to lose your wife and your kids, and now you're on child support, and you've lost a half of everything, and she wants to keep you away from your kid, bro. There can't be anything more painful. There can't possibly
No.
be.
No, you're right. Yeah. No. And yeah, and I got into the coaching as well because I took my NLP with
Mm.
actually it's funny I took the NLP sorry, the NLP course with the cop that I knew from when I used to get in trouble. He's now an NLP coach, and and now me and him are, we talk all the time, and
Wow.
he reached out to me and he's like, Corey, I've been seeing some of your stuff you've been doing, and I think it'd be great for you to take my course and stuff. So I did that, and I passed, and so I've been doing the life coaching and stuff to other men specifically. So I do it to women as well, but my main is men, right? Because yeah, we
Interesting.
know, right?
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
and I just started like in March, so I'm new to the whole thing, and trying to keep
Interesting.
comfortable and not get all nervous, and you know what I mean? Like I yeah.
Bro, you're I want to commend you, bro, cuz one, like, the willingness to start a
Hmm.
podcast, the willingness to help men, bro, you've admitted so much
Yeah.
since we started this call. Like,
Yep.
you know how they say you can't the first step to solving a problem is being aware that there's a problem, right?
You're
And do you
right.
know how many men are out there who have problems that they're not willing to admit? They're kind of just stuck in their
Uh,
ego,
wh-
so like, you
yeah.
just being willing to publicly say, here's me, here are the mistakes that I made, and here's what the hell I learned from it. Like, just that alone is, like, to me, puts you in the top 10%, right? Like, if you're willing to do that, then what you've done is you created an opportunity for another man to be like, damn, bro, like, I'm not alone. Whoa,
And
wow, someone, he's messed up way more than me. That's okay. If he can, come out publicly and say that he did whatever, then, I don't feel so bad. So just being willing to speak your truth publicly does so much, bro. Like, you're ahead of the
exactly, and
game.
that and that's it, and that's why, especially with this basically brothers men's group, is trying to get these guys to do it. But again, you can't make them do it. But all you can do is
Mm-hmm.
just share your story, and
Mm-hmm.
try to get them to look and be like, just like you said, wow, I'm not the only person
Mm-hmm.
dealing
Mm-hmm.
with this. Maybe I should start opening up, and because once you open up, it's like it's like magic, it's
Yeah.
just like you just let everything out, and it's like you start to heal, and it's so amazing, and it's again it's hard to get these guys to even come out when we do these men's support group in my hometown of Brockville. It's hard to get these guys to come out. Yeah, they're on the group and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
then it's committing to come to these groups. It's
You
hard,
mean
right?
committing to show up physically?
Yeah, show up physically.
You know what? You know what? Let me. I wanna talk to you about this since you own
Yeah.
you have the Facebook group, right? And I'm kind of just
Yep.
in it. I've thought about starting one, but I haven't just yet.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Um, one, and I don't want to be negative, but I'm gonna speak my truth, right? One
That's
of the
yeah.
one of the things that I find very frustrating, or maybe just even disheartening about a lot of these men's groups is they will go and join these groups just to bitch and moan. And I'm just like, bro, how long do you want to? On one part, I get it's cathartic. You want to release. You want to be like, yeah, she did
Yeah.
this and that. I get it, and you kind of get the camaraderie because we're all frustrated. But like, do you really want to sit in that? Like, you don't want to improve. And
No.
I'm almost turned off by the amount of self-loathing and complaining
Hmm.
and venting that men do. And then some of these guys do it anonymously. I'm like, oh my gosh, shut
Yeah.
up. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
solve it. I got so frustrated, bro. Maybe a month or two ago, I dropped the video on my YouTube channel called Shut the Fuck Up
Yep.
and Do Something About It. Just period. Like like, cause at the end of the day, like, we can't just stay at venting. Like,
No.
I
No.
find it funny when people vent for like the first 5 minutes, but then it's like, ugh, like, bro, like, do you get your significance from venting? You don't want to do it. You don't want to solve it. You just want to keep the problem and keep talking about it. Gross. And I try not to be
Exactly.
judgmental. I try not to be
No. No.
judgmental. But
And
yuck.
that's keeping people in a low negative vibration.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally just hurting themselves inside. The
Mm-hmm.
more and more they keep doing it and keep talking about it and everything else, they're just literally hurting themselves. I know that again. I'm
Mm-hmm.
admitting I was doing the exact same thing, and all I was doing is hurting myself. I was getting
Mm-hmm.
sick, all that type of stuff.
Oh
So
wow.
that's all it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kudos to you, bro. Because I would have kicked some of these guys out the group a long time ago. I'm gonna specifically start my group, and it's gonna be like, hey, this is not for venters. This is
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who want to vent and then do something about it. If all you want to
Yes,
do is vent,
exactly.
do not join,
Yeah,
please.
you have to do something about it. You have to, or you're gonna just sit there and literally just fall apart. That's all you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have
Well,
to
but
do something.
mathematically, statistically speaking, most people are average. Most people are
Yeah,
average. So most men are
yeah.
just going to vent. And I just don't think that they set their sights very high. Like, I look at my life in different areas and I ask myself, is this the best that I can do? Is this really,
Hmm.
it's one thing to say I could do better and I just don't want to put the effort in. Okay, cool. But outside of that, the things that I do care to put effort into, is this the best that I can do? And I really don't ever think the best that I can do is join a group and then complain and then do nothing about it. Like, that's not the best that I can do in any endeavor, ever.
No, no, exactly. And like I said, we're the we're the controllers to having the change within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if we don't do it, then it's just we'll just keep going down that dark hole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I mean, do you know what natural selection is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I'm very big on nature. I'm very big on
Yep.
nature. I don't talk a lot
Yep.
about God just because I don't think that I know a lot about God, and I think it would
Hmm.
be arrogant for me to talk
Okay.
about something I don't know a lot about.
Yeah,
But I
something you
know
don't
about
know exactly.
nature. Yeah, I know about
Hmm.
nature. I've watched National Geographic. I've studied cavemen and all that. And my true belief is you just gotta let a loser lose, bro. You've got
Hmm.
to let a loser lose. You've got to let someone who's set on making bad decisions make bad decisions, and then you have to let them receive their consequences, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
if you go back and talk to your younger self, there were probably people telling you, "Hey, bro, don't do that. That's not the
Yes.
decision you want to make."
Y-
But you weren't
Yep.
listening to them. There was nothing they were gonna say. You had to take your
Nope.
lumps, and you had to
Nope.
learn through the pain, right?
Exactly.
And
Yep.
so that's kind of what we have to let happen, like in their bloodline.
Yeah. You're
Their
you're
bloodlines
right.
will die out, and that's just what it is.
It
That's
is.
what it
Yep.
is. And you just have to
Exactly.
try. I think I heard Andrew Tate say that. You just have to try. You have to literally just try consistently. And you're gonna fail. And
Hmm.
you want to be graceful with yourself when you fail. But you want to try. That's all you gotta do
Of
is try.
course.
And most people don't even try. Most men
No.
don't try. They really don't.
Nope. You're right. You're right. And yeah, you got to leave it up to them. Everybody has free will, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
the more you say you shouldn't, that like makes them want to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
Mm-hmm.
opposite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The most I'll
Yeah.
do is be like, are you sure that's what you want to do? Like, are you
Yeah.
sure? Like that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Exactly. And
can't save people from their own consequences.
nope, you can't. You can't.
Yep. Because then it becomes y'all's consequences,
Yeah,
shared
exactly.
consequences.
Yeah, there's been, yeah, we, like you said, even when from growing up, as a child, you're told, you shouldn't, you do it, and then you're like, shit, I shouldn't have done that. I should have listened. You know, I should. Back even when
Yeah.
I used to get in trouble and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
my mom would
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Don't go out, or you're gonna get in trouble." I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not," and I get out. I go out, I get in trouble. I'd be in jail. My mom would be like, "See, I told you, you're gonna get in trouble." It's like, and then while I'm sitting in the holding cell, it's like I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have done
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that."
I remember sticking a paperclip in an electrical
Yeah.
socket one time.
Oh,
And I'm sure someone told me not to do it. And I was like, oh shit, man, I should have did that. But you learn how you learn. You learn how you learn, man.
exactly. That's exactly it. Uh, Now, do you have kids, family, and all that stuff?
Yes, I do. I do. I've got a wife. We've
Nice.
been together for 15 years. We've been married for 6. And I'm not bragging when I say that. Like
No,
marriage is
no.
hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's not even worth it most days. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
Yeah, yeah.
family is. And so I've got 3 kids. I've got a 14-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a soon to be 2-year-old daughter. My daughter is amazing. She is changing me
Nice.
every day. She's helping me understand women better, which helps me understand my wife better, which helps me understand
Of
my
course.
mom and my sisters better. So
Yep.
like my daughter is one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. So excited.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a son that's 20, and I got a daughter that's 17, and they both live with me full time. So, yeah,
Love it. Love it.
yeah, it's amazing, man. Being a father really
Mm-hmm.
changes you. It really
Mm-hmm.
does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
challenging, bro. You I mean, I don't know what your kids are like, but my goodness, you just provide so much for some people who can be so goddamn ungrateful.
Oh, yes.
And just want
Yeah.
it's a humbling experience, bro. And then you're figuring it out as you go.
It
Yeah,
is.
man. Yeah.
Yep, sure. Yeah, no, my son's gonna be he wants to be a street preacher. Never would have thought of him wanting to do something like that, but like since he's seen me change dramatically, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the kids just follow our footsteps. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? The kids
Mm-hmm.
follow our footsteps, and I noticed even when I was being the toxic person from before, my kids were also following those
Yeah.
footsteps too.
Yeah. You're their
So now,
superhero no matter what. You
it,
could be
that's
like drugged out, strung out,
yep.
everything. They don't know any better. You're still their
No,
superhero.
they
Yeah.
don't exactly. So yeah, no, it's amazing that yeah, and I'm all for it. Whatever, if he wants to do that, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy with it, right? So yeah. Hmm. Now, do you go to church or anything like that, or?
You're asking great questions, man.
Yeah.
Yes and no. So
Hmm.
I was forced to go to church growing up,
Okay.
right?
Forced.
And
Mhm.
any time I'm forced to do anything, I rebel.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
and at the same time, my mom, I just saw her as a very unsafe person, right?
Gotcha. Hmm.
So, like in every way, I could give you examples of her being or me experiencing her as emotionally unsafe, physically unsafe,
Hmm.
spiritually unsafe,
Hmm.
all the things.
Yep.
And so I just rejected any and everything that she was for. It's kind of like if you're fat, I'm not going to take fitness training,
Yep.
advice from you,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And so I saw her as this person who made poor decisions and lived a poor lifestyle. I'm like, everything that you think is a good idea is probably a bad idea. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
Jesus is I don't want to know nothing about Jesus. That ain't got I
Yep.
leave.
Yep.
but as I started going on my I guess you call it my healing journey or my
Yeah.
self-love
Yeah.
journey and learning
Hmm.
to value myself and my manhood, um, I started connecting with guys who, the fruits of their life were exciting to me. And I do want to kind of model myself after them. And lo and behold, they're talking about God too. Right.
Hmm. Yep.
Even the guy who had the one of the biggest, impacts on me, the guy who was a pimp in his former life, like when I got his program, he was like, okay, day one, lesson one, we're going to talk about self-love. Right. And the next lesson was like, you want to look as good as you possibly can so that you feel as good as you possibly can. And he would say, God makes everybody cute. It's up to you to make yourself fine. Right. And so I'm like, interesting listening. Like I'm listening to a guy who is an ex drug dealer, who's a mentor,
Hmm.
who's a millionaire now, an ex D-boy, an ex pimp. And like, they're all talking to me about God. Okay.
Hmm.
There must be something here. Right. And
Hmm.
so I've kind of I've been to church 2 times in the
Okay.
past
Yep.
month. Right. I live in
Hmm.
Dallas. I flew to
Yep.
Atlanta to go to church. Right.
Wow.
So I will do, and it's like a 3-hour flight. I'll
Hmm.
go, but it's like let me put it this way. I am a believer in God. I don't know if his name
Hmm.
is Buddha or Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
I don't know what his name is. I just believe
Hmm.
that there is a higher power, and
Yep.
I am willing to go into churches or buildings where I feel that I'm with people who are safe. And one of the things that I've noticed, at least about church in America, especially black churches, is there's a lot of judgment. There's a
Mm.
lot of judgment, and
Yep.
it's like I can't,
Mhm.
I can't possibly feel safe with judgment. Like if you judge
No.
yourself,
Yes.
harshly, I know you're gonna judge me, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I go, but it's just I need to feel safe. I'm realizing just how important safety is as a human in general. And there's not a lot of places like I don't feel that in the corporate workplace. I don't feel that when I'm always out at social gatherings, right? So that particular church that I got invited to, I got invited by someone who was incredibly non-judgmental, which made me feel safe. And then I met the people in the church, and I'm like, oh wow, like my
Hmm.
body. And when I say safe, I don't mean mentally, I mean my body, my nervous system. Like,
Of course.
wow,
Yep.
like this is what true safety feels like, man. It's
That's
amazing.
it. Yep. Exactly. And yeah, like you don't want to go to church and feel like you're being judged,
Mm-hmm.
because we're told, you know not to be judging anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I started going to church about it's about That's yeah, it's been almost 3 years now. I never
Mm-hmm.
stepped in a foot in a church ever. I was afraid
Mm-hmm.
that it would burn down. It's but I started going, and it was actually after my mom died. Yeah, I started
mm.
going to church. I just had a calling. You should go to church. I started going, and then I met a pastor there, Pastor Chris, and he's been just open arms welcoming me in, and he was just like, I think you should get baptized. And I ended up getting baptized, and I've been with the church ever since. And it's just like, I
Mm-hmm.
never would have thought me
Mm-hmm.
stepping foot in a church, but
Would
it's
you?
like,
Let me ask. You said you never would have thought. Would you have never thought, or was it stronger than that? Like, would you, if you had gone back and told your younger self, like, bro, one day you're gonna like go to church consistently for years, would your younger self have been like, ain't no damn way, or would have been like, no, not
yeah,
happening, never?
yeah, it would have been like not happening never, because
Interesting.
I had something evil in me, from growing up as a child, because they
Mm.
say when you're, growing up with traumas and stuff like that, there's like a demon,
Mm-hmm.
that it opens doors for demons, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that I had something in me because I felt just evil, you know, just,
Mm.
just, I didn't have no empathy. I had
Mm-hmm.
nothing. I was very narcissistic, like so narcissistic. It was crazy, and I was just wanting to fight everybody, and just angry with the
Mm-hmm.
world, and somebody looked at me the wrong way. It was just like I was ready to start fighting,
Yeah, it sounds like a
and
deep level of fear, unsafety, and
yes,
self hatred. Like
yes,
I'm just so angry with myself at myself all the time that it can come out at any moment in any direction.
yeah, Yeah, and that's exactly it. I
Mm-hmm.
had so much of it bottled up in me, from growing up in a small white town and being
Wow.
called nigger constantly all the
Oh my
time.
God. Yeah, I'm sure. I
Oh
shouldn't
yeah,
kill
it was.
anybody. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah. Oh
terrible.
man. Oh, I
Good
almost
Lord.
trust me. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
so bad, and like, yeah, it
But
was.
bro, I mean, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to tell you how to frame your childhood. But
Yeah, yeah,
bro, how could you? Let's say we weren't talking about you, and we're talking about another black child
yep.
raised in a white town,
White
being called
town.
the N
Yeah,
word all the time. Could you
yep.
blame that child for hating themselves and being angry? Like, what other outcome would there be?
I
How are they
know.
supposed to feel?
I know. That's
You
right.
know. So
Yep.
it's like I'm just very particular about language, and when I hear you say, I have something evil in me, I'm like, I say that's bullshit, bro. I don't think we're born evil, right?
No, 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 definitely not.
I just think you responded
Hmm.
based on the best you knew how, given the environment that you were raised in. Because if you were raised in a safe environment,
Yeah,
you would have
yeah.
turned out totally. You wouldn't have made the mistakes, but you also
Nope.
would have had a level of love and care and worthiness
Hmm.
about you.
Hmm.
Right? It's almost like you
Exactly.
probably had to fight to feel safe. You have to fight to feel like I'm worthy of being here. You had to fight to be left the fuck alone. So who else would you become other than a fighter?
Exactly. And that's just it. Yep. Yep. It was yeah, it was just survival mode all the time. Yep. It was. But like I said, thank God that I got out of that, because I'm telling you, I was either heading down a very dark path. So,
I believe you,
and
bro.
this
Amen.
and and this is, yeah, amen. And this is what excuse me, that's what's brought me to doing what I do today. So
So in a way, it served you.
definitely, it has served me 100%.
Question:
Yeah,
would you go through it again? Probably not.
if I if I knew I was going to be where I am today, but if I don't know, probably
Yeah,
not. It
yeah,
was tough, man.
yeah.
It was tough. I lost my brother. He committed suicide in
Wow.
2009. You know, and yeah, I lost my mom in 2023, and just life of crime, life of drugs, life of lust. It was
Mm-hmm.
just yeah, I lived, yeah, just a wild, crazy life, and I didn't care of the repercussions or anything that came with it. Yeah, but yeah.
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. I'd
Yeah,
have just been
I'm
bullied.
actually
I don't.
I'm actually in the works of writing a book right now. So yeah,
Okay, cool. Keep me
about my
posted, bro.
life.
I would love to learn and get it
Yeah,
when it's over.
yeah, yeah. It'll probably be the bestseller.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, what would you tell men that are going through struggles? What would you tell them?
Men who are going through struggles. This might be counterintuitive, but I would say you got to become more selfish. I
Yeah.
think that we are in a culture in a time where the word selfishness has a negative connotation. Like, oh, you're selfish, meaning you only care about yourself and you don't care about
Yeah.
anyone else. And I don't
Yeah.
think that's what selfishness is. To me, selfishness is self prioritization. The same
Yes.
way that you get on a plane and they say, hey, if the cabin loses pressure or oxygen or whatever, don't try to put the child's mask on first. Put yours on first, then the
Hmm.
child. Because when
Hmm.
people try to take care of others before they take care of themselves, they end up passing out, and neither of them are safe, right?
Yes,
And
you're right.
so this is what I talk to my clients about when I say like living the life of a king. Like you are a king. Kings didn't have Wi-Fi. They didn't have running water.
Nope.
They didn't have
Nope.
AC. Like we are modern day kings who've been taught to hate themselves and not value themselves. And so you can't pour from an empty cup. And I would say you got to be more selfish, bro. Some of the saddest guys that I know, they believe that like, my happiness and my whatever doesn't matter as long as my kids and my lady are good. And it's like, no,
Uh,
bro, you're fucking miserable. You're
yes.
miserable. You are romanticizing misery. Your life
Yeah.
sucks because the
Yep.
quality of your emotions moment to moment is the quality of your life. And so I tell people, although I love my daughter. I love my wife. I love my
Of
kids. I love my
course.
family. I am the most important person in my life. If I can't take care of me, I can't take care of anyone else. So I would tell them to start taking care of themselves first and foremost. Treating yourself like I tell people to imagine you have a child,
Hmm.
like a 3-year-old little boy, and this boy like you are his whole world, and he doesn't know anything or anybody but you. Would
Hmm.
you allow people to treat him the way that people treat you?
Yeah.
No, then don't allow those people to treat you that way. Like you almost kind of like have to like tell men that there's a little boy inside of you emotionally, because I think there is. Like the same way that I feel anger today is the same way I
Hmm.
felt anger as a child. The same
Yep.
sadness I feel today is the same sad. So emotionally speaking, we are still young boys, right?
Yeah. Of
And you
course.
kind of have to tell. I have to tell people, let's externalize that boy. Like,
Hmm.
would you, like, a lot of men, they don't even like dress up. They don't get haircuts. I'm like, if you had a
Hmm.
child, would you let him walk around looking a mess with no haircut? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would take care, you would make sure he's properly groomed, bro. Go get a fucking haircut.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so much of a man's image, or at least my image, was enhanced once I built a body that I love. Like once I got in the gym and I got muscles, I'm like, bro, I like the way I look. Damn how
Of
she
course.
feels about how I look. I like how I look. And I
Hmm.
move and I operate as a man who likes how he looks and he feels, and then she reflects that back to me. So when I
Hmm.
say I'm sexy, she's like, "Oh my god, you are." Yes, I know I am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yep.
man, I would say take care of yourself, love yourself, prioritize yourself, and stop romanticizing sacrifice. Stop romanticizing being broke, busted, and disgusted, because you
Mhm.
cannot show up for anyone else if you're not showing up for yourself.
You're exactly right, man. You're speaking the truth, and you have to again, you have to love yourself, and I had to figure that out myself too, and that's the secret. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. I have a feeling most men would hear that and be like, "That's so gay."
Yeah, I
Like
know. I know.
that's what I would have said a few years ago. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Because
me too.
love is
Yeah.
such a it's such an a loaded concept, because what's love
Yep.
to me or what feels like love to me may not feel like love to you. So like, how do you know? So that's a question I'm gonna turn on you, Corey. How do you know when a man is loving himself, or how does a man know when he is properly loving himself or does love himself?
Going out and doing things by yourself, I find for myself, I go out and I go to dinners by myself. I go out hiking by myself. I go to the movies by
Mm-hmm.
myself. I don't need anybody. I don't need
It's so
anybody.
freeing, bro. It's so
It,
freeing. You don't
it's
have to wait
free
on a
and it's
woman
so
because they
peaceful.
take long anyway and slow you down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to
You're right.
coordinate with anybody. You don't have to
No.
get ready with anybody. I'm hearing you
Nope.
say you enjoy your own company.
Yes, I enjoy my own company and I love it. I love every minute
Mm-hmm.
of it, and
Mm-hmm.
I never would have done that before because I was so codependent
Mm.
on somebody, and it was
Mm-hmm.
always a female.
Mm-hmm.
If it
Mm-hmm.
was my mom when she was alive, and then if it
Mm-hmm.
was, it was girls constantly. I always needed that codependency, and now that I have my full dependency and independent, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
In
So
your
that's what
defense,
I'd
though, in your defense, it feels amazing to just lay up under a soft woman all day. Like it's a great feeling,
yeah.
especially when you don't like yourself. Like
Yes.
it feels way better to just lounge up under someone who likes you and who can
Yep.
fill that hole in you when you don't like you, because you talk like
Exactly.
shit to yourself in private.
Filling the void,
Yep.
filling that void and hurt inside. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're you're right, man.
Understood.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? Like on a bad day, I don't. I like laying under my wife and just letting her rub on me. Like it's an okay coping mechanism. I know
Hmm.
people feel differently about it. I don't think coping is a bad thing. I just think that it's a short term strategy, right? Like you
Yeah.
still want to solve the problem, but if today's a difficult day for you, bro, go have sex, bro. You know, go lay up, go watch
Yeah.
a movie. You know, tend to
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah. Of course. Yep. No, I totally agree with your brother. Yeah. 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 So But yeah, so we run these podcasts usually about 45 minutes. So I
Okay.
want to thank you for being on here, and I will be in touch, brother.
Awesome. Do you mind if I tell the people where they can find me before we get
Absolutely. I
off?
was just going to ask you that. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, man, if you are a husband who is or a man, I consider a husband whether you're legally married by the state or you've gotten a woman pregnant, you've been living with her and you've been with her for a long time. Same thing. If you're a man who's in a long-term relationship with a woman and you've got a family, you want to learn how to keep that family together and you want it to be peaceful, harmonious, lustful, sexy, all of those things that it was in the beginning. I recommend you kind of contact me, you reach out. You can follow me on all social media platforms at A.D the Kingmaker, all kind of one word. Or you can go to my website, the 30-day fix. So this the number 3, then the number 0, the 30dayfix.net, where we show you how to bring back all of that good stuff, all the love, the lust, the softness, the sex, all of it without chores, without therapy, without talking to her all damn day. And we show you how to do it in the shortest, quickest, fastest, most fun way possible.
Amazing, man. And I'll also put that in the description and stuff, all your handles and stuff. So,
Appreciate you.
yep.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes. Thanks, brother, for coming on and sharing the story and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge.
Thank you for having me, man. This was great.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, man. Take care.